Doing a video today covering UFC on Vegas 40 and Bellator 268. UFC is obviously the number one promotion, but I think Bellator always picks their shots carefully and they'll put on their big cards on the weekends that UFC has the weaker cards. It's good fights on both cards though, I will say. Some pretty exciting fights as well. So to start off with UFC, the main event is actually fairly interesting. You got two up and coming female fighters, Aspen and Norma Dumont. It's quite a tight pick as far as betting odds go, but I'd probably go with Dumont. Aspen has the more star-studded record so far as the wins are, including win over Yana Kunitskaya and 2 wins over Sijara Eubanks. But most of her fights have been at bantamweight. She had a pretty bad weight cut 2 weeks ago where she missed weight. Fighting got called off, citing health concerns for Lad. She's now fighting just 2 weeks later and in a higher weight class at featherweight against a pretty experienced Dumont. She's won 2 in a row in that weight class. I think, you have to go with Dumont for that one. Other fights on that card, you've got Andrei Arlovski versus Felipe. That's probably one of the hardest ones to pick. Arlovski pretty much been alternating wins and losses for about 5 years. No real pattern as well. He's lost to some top up-and-comers like Tom Aspinall, Jorginho's Rosenstruck, but he's also beat some pretty good fighters, Big Ben Rothwell, Chase Sherman. Felipe, he's had a few wins in the UFC and does have a pretty sizable weight advantage. I think he cuts down to make the 265 limit, but I think he falls short here. So picking Arlovski as an underdog, he's 42, he's going to be his 54th professional MMA fight. Most people at this stage in their career are just getting knocked out every fight they have, but I've just got a feeling he's going to edge this one. My third pick on the UFC card and the fight I'm most excited about is Julian, the Cuban Missile Crisis Marquez against Jordan Wright. All of Marquez's wins have been finishes, 6 knockouts, 3 submissions. Jordan Wright has 12 wins, 1 loss, 1 no contest, and he's never gone a distance. Marquez is actually the underdog on this one, but I still fancy him to win. I think he's fought the tougher opponents. He's got better finishes. And his last fight out, I think he asked out Miley Cyrus after he won, so probably wants to do that again. On to Bellator. They've got the light heavyweight Grand Prix semi-finals. So in the first bracket, you've got the champ, Vadim Nemkov versus Julius Anglickas, who replaced Anthony Johnson when he got injured. Probably the easiest pick out of the 2 cards. Nemkov, he's pretty much looked unstoppable since his time with Bellator. He's the protege of Fedor and he's the current champion. Pretty hard to pick against. In the other bracket, there's Ryan Bader against Corey Anderson. I've been trash talking a lot this week. Corey Anderson's been talking about how he used to beat him up in training. Just don't see it in the big show. I think talking about the outcome of sparring is a pretty taboo thing in boxing and MMA. It's not something that you bring up if you're feeling good about the fight, you're confident in yourself. Bader, he looked good towards the end of his UFC run. He's looked very good in Bellator. He's become 2-weight champion, both light heavyweight and heavyweight. I think technically he's too good. His wrestling is going to be too much for Corey, and I think he'll eventually TKO him. I'm going to say 3rd round TKO for Ryan Bader.